Have you ever stopped to question the things that we were told to believe growing up? Like how hard work will always lead to success, or that finding your soulmate is the key to your happiness or the ultimate goal? Now, we cling to these ideas and these beliefs like lifelines. For example, karma, religion, even the belief that money can't buy you happiness. Think about it. Disney princesses taught us that love conquers all. But yet here we are with the divorce rate at 70% because people marry for love instead of seeing the bigger picture. We dive headfirst into what looks perfect now, not realizing the long-term effects these have on us. Now, the fallout that's going to be waiting if this happens is going to be devastating. In this video, we're breaking down 5 of the most common beliefs you've never questioned and why it's time to rethink them. Before we jump in though, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, as it is the only support I have. And also, while we're at it, happy holidays, guys. I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. I had a peaceful, relaxing one myself, so I love it. Hit the links in the bio to see if there's anything that interests you. There's a bunch of deals going on tech. There's a bunch of deals going on home decor as well. See if anything down below is in your interest. Without further ado, let's dive in. Growing up in the church or being around religion just in general, you find out that you have a lot of questions that you need answered. Some of them can get answered, but most of them are probably not going to be answered, either because somebody doesn't know or because they don't want to admit that they don't know, because it'll ruin their image and reputation within the church. And so you keep on going, and the questions that just pile up just keep on multiplying. Questions such as, okay, since a kid, we've heard that Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible, but it's actually documented in history that Moses died well before Deuteronomy was written. How is that possible? Okay, why is the Old Testament not studied like the New Testament? Those are the questions that we have to ask. And why does the New Testament have a new school vibe to it? And it sounds like it's been written in our society as a whole. It just seems too new to me, right? But people cling on these beliefs until they start to uncover things that they really never knew, right? And so once you start uncovering things that you never knew, you're going to start to have a mind shift focus on everything else, because Christianity, what it does, that's the religion I grew up in. It subjugates all other religions, saying that Christianity is the only religion that you need to worry about. You can't associate with my Muslims or my Jew friends or my Catholic friends or anything like that. And so, you know, if I knew about this when I was younger, it would avoid a lot of biases I have. Speaking of being younger though, how many of us grew up on shows like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody from Disney, or Kim Possible, or The Princess and the Frog, or maybe Snow White, things like that? We grew up wanting that soulmate, someone who's going to give us those butterflies in our stomach every single time that they talk, or someone who's going to make you feel like they're going to rescue you from the world. People idolize this mindset, and then they go into relationships with it as well. But the question is it really supposed to be like that? That's what we have to ask ourselves. See, when you're chasing those butterflies, a lot of people don't understand the long-term effects that it has. Is it sustainable for a successful relationship up until this point? People who are chasing those butterflies don't necessarily do the research to actually find out if that soulmate, over time, over the last 40, 50 years we've been dating and having relationships like this, what is the success rate of that? When you do that research and you're breaking down everything that you see, it's pretty clear to see that the way we're doing things is not it. But Disney, what they've done, Nick, what they've done, these shows, what they've done is they've popularized a way for people to get together based on a feeling and based on love, when all the details and all the data says this is not it. So The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, That's So Raven, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, were they wrong? What was their purpose from the television? What was their purpose in portraying that image to us? Those are the questions that we have to ask ourselves when it comes to this love, relationship, and marriage, because a lot of people are doing it wrong. But we don't question our beliefs inherently because we don't have a reason to. Let's talk about karma. Some people believe in it, some people don't believe in karma at all. But if you do believe in it, ask yourself, why do I believe in this so vehemently? Why am I so convinced that karma is a real thing? Have you ever wished bad things to happen on somebody? I mean, that's natural. Same. I have too. But we shouldn't be sitting around here hoping and praying and wishing that somebody can get their get back based on karma, because that's the waste of time. What a better solution is, why don't we work your ass off, make something of yourself, and then have them keep watching you succeed and rise through the ranks? Because believe it or not, success is the sweetest form of karma. Hard work is overhyped. Now, I've made a video about this before. Check the description box below for that video. But hard work is overhyped. And our parents lean our hard work and say, back in my day, I was working by 12 and 11 and 10 years old, and I stayed there for 40 or 50 years, and I got a pension and retired. Now, obviously, that's not how things work anymore. So you have to question what hard work means to you. Now, I do believe in hard work, but I don't think that staying at one place for 40, 50, 60, 70 years and waiting for a pension and a 401k is the smartest decision to make. Would you not agree? Right. So in essence, the hard work that our parents are referring to, that age is gone. Okay? But the hard work that we can do for ourselves, we have to figure out our path and our way, the best way for us to make money so that way we can thrive just like them. Because we're in a new world. We're literally living in the future. It is 2025 right now. AI is taking over. We just seen a bunch of stuff happening as far as advancements in technology. Electric cars are a thing. Listen, and people are getting laid off left and right. So no matter what you do or where you go, nothing is safe. No one is safe. It all depends on you. So you got to figure out what avenue to place your work in so that way you can get the most benefit from your actions. So just ask yourself these questions and just be real with yourself. What does hard work mean to me? How much money do I need to have to be set for life? What does my lifestyle look like? How much money am I going to need for rent, housing? And maybe I need to start doing a budget so that way I can find this information out even if I don't know it. Whatever your unique situation is, figure that out. Last thing I want to talk about is the classic money can't buy you happiness. Now, who are you hearing this stuff from? Because to me, I'm hearing this from influencers. I'm hearing these from people that are big on YouTube, big on Instagram, people who are seemingly already successful, and they're telling you that money is not going to buy you happiness. But half the time, these people who are telling you, these motivational coaches, when they're telling you money can't buy you happiness, either A, they already have the money and they don't necessarily want anybody else to come into their lane, or B, they're just flexing for Instagram, flexing for YouTube, simply because that is the popular thing to do. Now, I don't 100% disagree with the statement money can't buy you happiness, but I've decided to figure that shit out on my own. Why? Because the people that are referencing Warren Buffett and he only drives a Toyota Camry and he only has one watch and he lives in the same house. Do you honestly only believe that? Listen, I've been around rich people pretty much my whole life. And when you're around rich people, they have a certain lifestyle that they live in that they don't show other people. Meaning that they may have a Porsche, they may have a Lamborghini and a Ferrari, but it's going to be in the garage. They have collector's items that we can only dream of having. They have a lot of baseball cards. They like to do this stuff. But guess what? They're not going to show us that. They're not going to show us that their lifestyle is, because why? They'll lose money. Right? So when these guys are telling us money can't buy you happiness, the questions I got to ask is, okay, cool. Money can't buy you happiness. How much student loan debt are you in? If you're in any. What's your bank account look like? What's your investment? Roth IRA, your retirement account. What does all that look like? Now, 9 times out of 10, if they're in debt, I can't take anything that you say seriously, because anybody can doctor it and do Photoshop on an image and make it seem like their bank account, it looks more than what it is. Okay, I can't trust that. So guess what? I'm going to find out on my own, so that way I have a great idea of if this statement is true or not. Because I don't really know if money can't buy me happiness. I'm broke right now. Most of us are broke right now. We're normal people who work every single day. And you're telling us money can't buy us happiness? Stop it. I need to know who's motivating you. It seems like you just want less competition in the market for whatever you're in the market for, whatever your business is, by selling us a bill of goods saying that money can't buy us happiness. But how about this? How about I put my head down, I work hard enough so that way I can find out the answer to that question. Quick story before I let you guys go, because I'm rambling and I can rant all day, right? When I was still in Texas, I'm in Arkansas right now, but when I was still in Texas, I ran into a guy and he ran restaurants. I used to be a server in a restaurant. He pulled out a MasterCard, black card. I believe it's from American Express. It was very, very impressive. And I asked him a question. I said, hey, any advice you have for a young guy who's coming up in the world looking to make it? And he said, no, not really. I said, okay, well, what do you think about, money? Like, is it the end all be all? And he said this very interesting, and I'll never forget it. He said, you got to find that out for yourself. Everybody's answer is going to be different. So that's why I take the stance on, I'll find out if money buys me happiness. I'll find out if religion is for me. I'll find out why I have this belief that I'm supposed to find my soulmate. I'll find out why I believe in karma so much, because I'll question myself and I'll do the research and I'll hear the information out so that way I can make an informed decision on my actions. But see, we believe this blindly and end up flailing in the end. We end up having our lives ruined in the end. Then we want to go back and do over again what got us in trouble and what got us caught up in the first place. I'm just trying to make it make sense. That's why I question everything. If someone tells me something, I'm going to do the research. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Happy 2025. Make sure you hit your goals coming up in the next few months as we start to get more and more attention. I'm going to start upgrading and doing a little bit more videos based on the content that you guys are rocking with. So be looking forward to that. I love you. I appreciate you. I will see you guys next week. Peace.